Hi, my name is Doan. I'm from BNP Paribas, a leading European universal bank headquartered in France. I spent most of my career within corporate and investment bank technology, including leading global market technology and enterprise architecture for the APAC region. I recently moved to the digital innovation and product space on the business side, especially to develop a global data management product that we're piloting at the moment in the region, targeting the asset owner client segment, i.e., the like of pension funds, sovereign funds, and insurance companies. So today I'm going to present to you how the APIs are driving business at BNP Paribas. So in order to understand why APIs are integrated in our business strategy, we will take a step back and we will start with data. So on the next slide, you will see that in the digital world we are in, data is a key asset. So in order to help our clients to better leverage the data that they need to run their business, we have developed a data custodian offer, kind of marketplace, whereby we aim first at better understanding clients' priorities and challenges. We want to provide data operations to improve data governance and data quality, and procure a secured open architecture solution, including interconnectivity with a broader ecosystem. And ultimately, we want to deliver enhanced value and insight to the clients, including data as a service, leveraging the latest market innovation. So now, if we go on the next slide, basically, API is a key component of our business, digital, and data strategy. We went through a maturing process and journey to get the business and clients to drive the API business definition and build APIs per business domain rather than simply considering API as a technical problem. Indeed, we don't want to build as many APIs as of information systems, and API is not another middleware. And clients, especially in this region, fully understand the benefits of API, notably the simplification and consolidation benefits. So therefore, in terms of our digital and data transformation pillars, APIs are really part of our omni-channel data distribution strategy and ambition to improve client experience. API allow us to integrate with fintech partners in what we call the best of breed model as part of digital transformation and service offering. And we want to improve digitalization and bring productivity and automation gain, notably to integrate AI features. And then last but not least, API enable us to explore new technologies. For example, in the domain of distributed ledger technology, API allow us to bridge the conventional world and value chain while testing aspects of the emerging distributed ledger technology and allowing us to progressively deploy workflows and integration and ensuring transition and interoperability of the solution. Now, if you look at the how we want to enhance customer experience, we do offer clients different and consistent ways to access data via API. So, for example, they can access the data via web portal, which underlying use API. They could access the API directly by subscribing to the API available in the API store. Or then they can use also bots, which underlying are connected via the APIs to the backend. So each service is definitely answering specific needs from the client within their organization. And on the next slide, yes. So now API, it's an overall product. It's clearly in terms of value proposition having four main features. First is provide agility to the client. providing a de facto standard to exchange data. Then second, the ease to interconnect, compare traditional bespoke data feed. It's definitely faster to integrate and to put time to market. Then it allows us to and the clients to have on-demand requests in the sense that they can subscribe to the data they need and they can adjust the frequency at which they want to retrieve the data. Therefore, it can serve a wide range of users. And last but not least, security-wise, API are notably exposed via gateways. And at BNP Paribas, for example, we use Google APG. So that allows us not to directly access the database, but having a layer to ensure that the connectivity is secure. So basically, in terms of customer experience, they have different ways to access the data. And then in terms of API store, so today we have on the next slide a public URL whereby you can access the data catalog. And the API catalog is organized by domain, whereby typically you could have APIs like accounting informations, cash, or payment, etc. So at BNP Paribas, all of that is available publicly. But if you want to have the detail of the swagger, for example, you need to get credentials. And then progressively, we extend the API coverage to expose the underlying data coming from various systems and locations, depending on the client. Then next, on the next slide, typically we have the API roadmap for the coming couple of years, whereby functionally wise, we intend to cover pretty much all of client needs by 2025. And our roadmap is driven by client priorities, some of which we are working in co-design. So on the next slide, you have an example of API lifecycle dashboard that we run on our various APIs. So we do it by type of API, by client type, region, and also lifecycle status. One thing to note is that as demand grows across regions and time zone, you may want to deploy proximity resources to better serve clients. Okay, so now let's focus on the day-to-day reality and challenges. APIs and the hidden part of the iceberg. So where does the complexity lie and what are the challenges that we look at from top or from tip, I would say, to bottom. So API as a product is exposed via the API store. So what are the enablers and what are the frameworks that we need to put in place in order to properly manage your API offering? So underneath, it requires maturity in a certain number of areas. We need to be mindful of security aspects, for example, properly administrate the API ecosystem. From an engagement perspective, the workflow for onboarding of users and the roles management are keys, allowing, for example, self-registration or subscription management of workflow to put in place in order to grant access to users. And also, we need to be mindful of contractual aspects and monetization of the API. And so, but not least, we need to mention also the fact that we need to have a proper management of the API gateway, as mentioned previously. So now on the next phase, system-wise, so if we take the restaurant analogy, whereby we get the raw ingredients, we then prepare them, transform and cook them, and assemble them to deliver a meal that we offer on a menu to the clients, and then clients will order and serve them. So it's pretty much similar on the API side. We acquire the feeds from the various information systems. We have to normalize, masterize the underlying data, aggregate them when need be, and expose them via the gateway for the clients to subscribe them and then consume. So some of the challenges that you can foresee is that yes, all the plumbing is kind of hidden from the end user, but that means that you need to integrate the data coming from various systems, and you may have various systems per region or location, or even per product. So that's where some of the challenges that we will further detail. So what else do we need to consider in order to maximize the potential of APIs and meet client expectation? So now let's look on the next slide at the overall data ecosystem and value chain. So if we take a step back and look at the data perspective, so APIs are part of a wider ecosystem in order to fully leverage the value of data and deliver insight to our clients. There are prerequisites in terms of data representation, mapping, following industry standards. And while there are a number of established norms on the sell side, it's not always the case, for example, on the buy side. And so as we are regulated industry, permission-wise, we need to put in place in order to manage properly role and responsibility, data governance for each of the actors of the value chain. Quality-wise as well, we need to put in place data operations to have proper workflow to ensure that we rectify and we adjust data quality when need be in order to provide those data ultimately clean to the clients. And priority-wise, we need kind of alignment of planet in the sense that if you look at the whole value chain, there are a number of resources and teams involved both internally and externally, and you need collaboration across multiple layers of the organization, their verticals and horizontals, not to mention sometimes location and time zone challenges. So if we look at also some of the trends that you see on the way the data are consumed, so more and more clients' requirements are occurring, especially in terms of data replication with solutions, for example, like Snowflake or Databricks. But due to the diversity of infrastructure, API is a solution which allow notably to manage multi-cloud configuration situation. So that kind of conclude the high-level presentations. So I would like to thank you for your attendance.